は JR です。
Concerns a gene that is less well known as the other genes like COMT, NAO, and CHFR. But this gene, called the SDT or FLT2 gene, is of equal importance in a lot of cases. So I'm here to share with you how that works and how the FLT2 gene is a hidden cause of leaky gut and leaky brain. Now, on your variant report from Sterling Hill's NTHFR support, you see this. This will be found on that report. It's one reason why I really recommend Sterling's application over the competitors, because her application is updated. It's much more in-depth, and they're always improving it. And I just haven't seen the same kind of level of detail with other companies. And so this FUT stands for fructose. It's kind of like fructose or lactose, but it's called fructose. And fructose, this gene basically encodes the protein that produces fructose on the lining of our gut and in our breast milk. And it'll make sense as we go why that's important. So it's called the fructosal transferase 2. That's what FLT2 relates to. And basically there's mutations or there's genetic variants out there that I happen to have and many of you listening to as well. And if you have these plus inheritance of this FLT2 gene, you don't make a lot of this. If you look at, if you inherit these problematic FLT2 genes, you don't produce the sugar, this prebiotic called fructose. So I just want to remind everyone that kind of the reason I'm bringing this up is we have an epidemic of gut problems in our culture, and it's getting worse. Thanks to Dr. Stephanie Senna and a lot of others out there raising awareness, we have come to learn that how toxic GMO food is because of the poison that they spray on it to grow this stuff. And as we've seen in my previous videos, glyphosate is a pretty nasty toxin. It's patented as an antibiotic, so it's really killing our gut bacteria by interfering with what's called the succinate pathway. So it kills plants and weeds the same way. It also kills our gut bacteria. And again, just as a quick refresher, the succinate pathway provides our body so tyrosine, phenylalanine, and tryptophan. We do not make these amino acids in any way, shape, or form, so we either have to get them from our diet, from protein, or from the gut bacteria. And when we mix those two processed foods, GMO crops, and our average Western diet will have some corn, soy, wheat, and dairy ingredients, we do a lot of this glyphosate exposure sources that help our bacterial balance through our diet. So when I started we look at this from the cycle point of view, you can see the tryptophan, tyrosine, phenylalanine, those are precursors of our serotonin and dopamine. So we end up with a problem here in our brain. So we're kind of brain symptoms, chronic fatigue, brain fog, panic, anxiety, depression, lots of different symptoms come from a gut problem. And I'll talk about that before. But what I want to share with you today is why the FLT2 is important. How that plays a role in terms of tryptophan, tyrosine, and phenylalanine. You can see how I'll connect here shortly. So the FLT2 influences gut bacteria Crohn's disease. So basically, without getting too technical, everybody's familiar with blood type, blood type A or O or B or AB. Well, the common population doesn't have any of the antigens, I guess, we're going to call these on the surface of our organs, of our nose, our lungs, our gut. But the antigen population doesn't. The antigen population, you can just walk inside of the mouth and test them and figure out what the blood type is. But the people with FLT2 genes, the people who have problems with fructose transferase, we don't actually put that antigen on the surface of our mucus. Okay, so that's not, I don't want to get distracted. That's not getting back to stuff. Another certain people, like the population, and it doesn't have the antigens of their blood type outside of the vessels, whereas the antigens of the population does. And so when you back into FLT2, you get inflammation and infection. Okay, so the way this works is these little triangles down here are the artist's representation of glucose. So glucose, remember, similar to fructose, is a sugar that these bacteria like that. We want to keep our bacteria happy, give us something to eat, we like to stick around, do good things for us. So we eat bacteria, they glucose all out, they also prevent the bad bugs from taking hold. That's all this about. So again, as I mentioned, Crohn's disease, you have the link of FLT2 genes, and that has to do with the fact that particularly bowel problems like Crohn's is made worse when you have bad bacteria around. And people who don't produce this glucose, things like you can see the tree is there, so when they hang out the tree, underneath the triangles of sugar. So that's what you're trying to get. Right? People with the healthy genes get this situation, people with the non-healthy genetics, presentation, they're over here. So you don't have to go through the happy bugs, and there's no opportunity for the bad bugs to take hold. That's just what happens. Okay? So that's what the FLT2 is quite important. If these are good guys, it's actually acting as a decoy, kind of blocking our bad guys. Just more information on that. Basically, when you don't have FLT2, you change the makeup of your gut, so it doesn't have an imbalance between the pathogens or the good bugs and the bad bugs. The bad bugs tend to overdominate the gut, and we see that over and over again in patients with SIBO, with IBS, with chronic constipation, chronic diarrhea, mood issues, focus issues, sleep issues. It's very, very common. And so this is what my message. I realized how important the gene was for gut health, but it actually goes beyond that. So, as I said before, earlier, this gene puts this sugar on the surface of our gut. Alright, so we have another picture that shows how it works. It's these good guys. So it's lost, like Clostridium, Staph, or Salmonella, Candida. So you can kind of get this nice good guys blocking the bad guys. But of course, it's always a double-edged sword. So it does attract like some bacteria, like H. pylori, and some viruses like viruses actually do use this FLT2 for their advantage. So the point is here that every gene we talk about, and sometimes seems very negative on that stuff that comes from this gene, there's always a flip side of the coin. So your FLT2 is promotes Crohn's disease, IBS, and inflammation, right? Those genes are related to that. But there's some benefit. What we know is that A couple different things. We know that FLT2 genes protect you from H. pylori infection. So if there's no glucose, on the lining of your gut, there's no place for the H. pylori to connect with. So if you have one of these genes and are dealing with the side effects of FLT2 genes, one benefit is you're protected from H. pylori and you're protected from the norovirus. And because because people with these genes are less likely to be infected with H. pylori, there's some evidence that says they're better and more efficient than absorbing B12. So again, it's kind of intake B12, methylcobalamin, really excellent for supporting your nervous system, ventilation support. So we like the idea that people with these genes, even though they create some problems for information, that they do also have things absorb the vitamin you might need. Just something to keep in mind. But that's kind of the gut part of it, right? So without this FLT2, without this glucose on the lining of your gut, you get this leaky gut situation. That's what the gene has an influence on. But it also influences our brain and the rest of our body. I'll tell you how that works. So the SNP, of course, is FLT2, and what happens is, because we can't feed our healthy bacteria, because people with FLT2 SNPs are lacking the prebiotic in your guts. FLT2 genes mean you don't make this sugar for your bacteria as well. It means you can't feed the bacteria, so there's fewer of them, right? And what's interesting is that the bacteria, they're fed by this. They poop out amino acids for our body. So we are seeing in the literature and showing up clinically that people have amino acid issues. They have low dopamine, low serotonin, they have problems with mitochondria, they can't burn fat, they can't lose weight, they might have ratios of hormones. And you show people that have low levels of protein, especially protein, amino acids, tyrosine, take advantage of being healthy. So the research shows that I should really about a co-source of that treatment. But, just because we don't know something exists doesn't mean it can't be affecting you. And so a lot of times what patients are sharing with me is that they have a lot of acid reflux, they got chronic GERD, they have pain in their upper abdomen here just below the rib cage. Sometimes they say that they wake up in the middle of the night with heart palpitations and panic attacks and anxiety attacks. They always happen either at night or in the morning right before they get out of bed, but they don't seem to happen when they're up standing around, walking around, and waking, when they're awake. And so I had many patients share this with me, the same story. I started to scratch my head and say, what is this? What's really going on here? How come all these patients have the same symptoms? So what I'm sharing with you today is that hyalurnia is very common. The stomach, exists in the upper part of your abdomen, left side, like your and it's not like it's moved down or screwed in place or welded in place. The stuff moves around. And so they have different health conditions, like, this guy, he has metabolic syndrome, he's got this abdominal obesity, he's a smoker, probably under stress, and his health is his stomach has moved up into his chest cavity. And that's the real problem with hyalurnia is that the part of the stomach called the lower esophageal sphincter, which sits right on the diaphragm, actually is pushed way up inside your chest cavity. And there's not a lot of room in your chest cavity to begin with, and if you put part of the stomach up inside the diaphragm and the chest cavity, likely to be irritating apart significantly. So I started looking at this, and these are the two following questions. Your health might go away, because if you have atrial fibrillation, otherwise known as heart palpitations, sometimes, leading to panic attacks and chest pain, someone's compressed like elephants hanging on your chest, you may end up in the ER once or twice or more than that, thinking you're having a heart attack, and all they tell you is, your stomach, you have acid reflux, here's some acid blocking drugs, and have a nice day. So, ongoing mistakes, they don't admit symptoms and mess with us, try to screw with our head. They're just telling us what's going on through the symptoms that we get. Unfortunately, symptoms are not, legally understand very well, like English Transparent or, emails or text messages, but trust me when I tell you bodies never make mistakes, and symptoms are there to educate us about what the problem is. And so when I landed on that, I was absolutely floored to realize that atrial fibrillation is 21 times more common than can go to the hyalurnia. And mind-blowing information, this is, recent study within the last 10 years, and you can see that the blue is atrial fibrillation and hyalurnia, and this is atrial fibrillation in the general population, and look at the discrepancy, 21 times higher. So obviously, anybody who has heart palpitations, difficulty breathing, panic attacks, especially when they lie down, chronic acid reflux, chronic GERD, irritable bowel, we can get into even talking about SIBO, candida problems, you want to decide what an issue has